Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 218.
218.
Of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. The itineraries for the Disney Cruise Line were just announced, and they are going to be starting booking those dates tomorrow on February 23rd.
Very exciting.
It is exciting. Plus, of course, Walt Disney World, Pandora is opening, and the Epcot Flower and Garden Festival is coming up. So this is a great time to book some travel.
Lots of goodness to come.
And the allears.net newsletter. This is a free weekly newsletter with over 900 issues. It goes straight to your inbox. I get it. I read it every week. And their feature article, 11-year-old Julia writes her advice from one kid with fears to another. I thought that was an interesting article.
Yeah.
They preview Epcot's Flower and Garden Festival with this look behind the blooms as Kristen Ford interviews Epcot's Eric Darden. There's a Saratoga Springs photo gallery, which has totally been reimagined with over 300 photos. And actually quite a lot more.
Highly recommended. Check out our show notes for full information on how to subscribe.
Our first stop is Disney's Wilderness Lodge, which is undergoing some of probably the biggest changes it's had since it opened. It opened in 1994. The villas at the resort opened in 2000, but now they have a new name for the villas, actually, the Boulder Ridge Villas, as opposed to the villas at the Disney's Wilderness Lodge.
Yeah, this is a much more exciting name, I would say.
And we're just passing the Trout Pass bar. That is currently closed along with Roaring Fork. We don't know if the Trout Pass will be coming back or not. Roaring Fork's supposed to definitely come back this summer.
So we're looking at a geyser, and I believe this is Geyser Point. I think this thing goes off at least once an hour.
I believe it's just once an hour. I think that has been since the resort opened every hour.
But how perfect that we are going to look at Geyser Point Bar and Grill, this brand new dining experience that just opened there in the former beach area.
I do miss the beach. I did like the beach very much, but this is a beautiful location, and you have the fire pit there.
New fire pit,
right?
Yes.
And so Geyser Point's on the edge of Bay Lake. You could see like the electrical water pageant at night. This is an open air location, and you can see like as we're going to be walking up to it, just how close to the water it is.
Right. I mean, it is really nice. I think it'll be very nice at night as well. They have heaters there. You won't need heaters most of the year, but now it can get a little chilly in the evening.
Well, I think, all year round you have that water coming in off the water, so you might want
water
a little...
coming off the water.
No, did I say wind?
You said water. Water coming
no
off the water.
No water coming off the water.
That would be rain. I think water coming off or the sky.
Wind coming off the water could make it give you a little chill at night. So definitely bring a jacket if you're heading here.
So let's go inside and check it out. I don't know if inside would be the correct thing, but we're going to look around anyway. I think the big draw here is the views. You have beautiful, beautiful views of Bay Lake.
Right. And again, the electrical water pageant. Like if you were sitting right here at night, you'd be able to see the water pageant really well. So that would be certainly the place to be, at least for me.
Right, and from here you could see the tree with all the shoes on it over there at River Country.
I forgot about that. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, so really neat.
And there's a bar in here, and there's some beers on tap that were of interest to our table.
Yes, we will fully show that very soon. I'm just going to show you one more angle, kind of showing you the beautiful views that you can get from at least dining on this side. Now we're going to look at the quick service window.
Remember I mentioned Roaring Fork is closed right now, so that could be an issue because there are no other counter service locations inside Disney's Wilderness Lodge. I think maybe a continental breakfast in the morning they do.
So today, which is pouring out, you would have to kind of run through the rain to get to this location.
Right, this is actually substantial from the building, so I'm not sure what's going on as far as that.
I just waved back to the nice cast member.
And there are the beers on tap. I mean, you have Bud Light, but there's also Rogue Dead Guy Ale, which I think somebody said they liked at the table, and then a couple of others.
So I think we're going to see a quick selection of drinks here, and here they are. And I did have the Northwest iced tea, which is kind of like their version of a Long Island iced tea. Had a bit of a kick to it.
I've never had a Long Island iced tea.
Probably for the best.
It is probably for the best.
Very strong drink, usually.
I'm not very experienced on drinks. I have some alcohol, but not tons.
Mm-hmm. We know.
And there are actually two menus, two food menus. This one is the same menu as the counter service location, but they can bring it to the table. Then there is a second menu, which we will see, which will have a few other items on it that are special to really the table service location, and that's what this is. I didn't try anything on this rustic fare, but we will show a couple of those items.
I think you tasted, well, you intended to taste, but I think I may have
I was going to try the brisket,
and
I gave it to you to take a bite of. I didn't try it. There is a lump crab cake sandwich. I'm just going to say everybody but me liked their menu items, I believe.
Well, mine could have been better also. I think you and I both chose unwisely because all of these items they were raving about, and they even look really good. Now, I didn't get to sample too much of this. The only thing I did try was the cheesy barbecue brisket with house-made chips. Oh boy, the brisket was wonderful. You were going to try it, and I thought you were just handing it to me.
Yes, I did hand it to you, and then you ate it all. But anyway, the Blue Wilderness, this is a secret menu drink. It's not really a secret anymore. It has black cherry Zodiac vodka, pineapple juice, lemon juice, simple syrup, and I think one or two other ingredients, but that's the basic twist on that.
I loved it. I think it was the favorite drink for me that I had, and I tasted just about everything.
The Moscato Colada is a frozen drink. Sky Infusions Moscato grape vodka, pina colada mix. Again, another, I think one more item in there. It was really good. I would get that one again. It's certainly very much a coconut flavor in that one. So Jeff had the smoked turkey sandwich.
Yeah, the smoked turkey sandwich for me was a slight disappointment. You could see there's not a lot of turkey in there.
There's like 2 or 3 slices.
You know, believe it or not, later on this same day, we had gone to Planet Hollywood, and we're going to show you that later. I had a bit of a turkey sandwich from there. It was so much better. So you would not think that would be the case, but I tell you, I was disappointed in a little bit there.
And I had the classic bacon cheeseburger with 5 French fries. I didn't have any cheese on it. I gave Jeff my bacon. It was probably the worst hamburger just about that I've ever had in my life. It was just very dry. It was just so dry. It just felt like a frozen patty that was just kind of cooked through and
You gave
dry.
it to me. I took one bite, and we didn't even take it home, which
no,
is unbelievable.
I always take my food home, and I didn't take my food home.
And we just saw dessert, the brownie mousse, and we both did enjoy that. It was nothing spectacular, but you didn't?
The cake was a little dense for me. I like the topping better. It isn't something I would order again, but I didn't not like it. It isn't. There's many more desserts on Disney property that I prefer.
So again, in fairness, perhaps the two of us chose unwisely. Everyone else at the table loved their food.
And we know somebody else who didn't like their bison burger. So they had the same reaction that I had to my burger. So hopefully they'll have a better burger because it looked so good. It looked like a deluxe burger, which I love, from Disney Springs.
There was nothing deluxe.
It wasn't.
Nothing deluxe about it.
And I had half a burger left, and I didn't take it home, and I always take it home.
So perhaps we bring food here and enjoy.
No. We'll try some, maybe the brisket next time.
So while we've been jabbering on, we're looking at this beautiful new addition, the train tracks, and it's really nice. I really like the look of all this.
So this area is supposed to be themed, including the Boulder Ridge Villas, to the 1860s Railroad Hotel of the American West. I don't believe that's what it was before. I mean, they had the train room, and they will still have the train room, I'm sure.
So challenge to the viewers, tell us what 749 means on that rail card.
I actually have no idea.
I have no idea, but somebody will, I'm sure. We have the best viewers ever. They always know everything.
And this is just a water tower that they created for the backstory. I don't know what the reunion area will be. It might be at like a kids club or something like that. I'm actually just not sure. It looks like train tracks here. You know, they really did a lot of work here. It feels very sparse, but it's really a beautiful location. So we will be back.
So we are now at Epcot, though. One of your favorite times, my favorite time of the year at Epcot,
My favorite time of year, really at Walt Disney World. I love other times too, but this is just fantastic.
It's the Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival 2017. We're going to give you a preview. Amazingly, a lot of it is in place already. A lot of the topiaries, so beautiful. We had some great days. This shot, by the way, that you took.
I took it.
Fantastic.
The water was so still. The Epcot Flower and Garden Festival starts on March 1st. The topiaries are coming in a little later, I think, this year, just by a few days because of the Epcot International Festival of the Arts going on until a couple days ago.
Here we see Anna and Elsa in their new location in Norway. I think this is the best location they've had. It really works perfectly. They fit right in.
Well, it will get a little crowded there, so the best time is in the morning, you know, between like 9 and 10 or so. Really, for a lot of these topiaries that are going around World Showcase in the areas that you can get to, because guests are running for the ride and they're not running for the topiary.
One thing about Anna and Elsa is they actually debuted with the realistic princess faces and look to them. So
and we'll see Belle in a little bit like that. And here is the troll. It is not Kristoff's troll, is it?
No.
Everybody, I heard so many guests saying it was Kristoff's troll. He's been here before.
I love those feet.
I really enjoy seeing him back. Anytime we see kind of characters come back to the festival, it's a lot of fun. And I read the 3 Caballeros will be back as well. We haven't seen them in a while.
That's right. And now we're in China and they have the pandas out.
And it's interesting. We were looking at photos from 2012 that I took. And it's just interesting how much better they look than 2012. Just, you know, if you take pictures during the Flower and Garden Festival each year, really it just improves every single year, and it's really exciting to see, and it's nice to see the pandas back. You know, it's always nice to see them here.
And somehow you may have missed this little guy taking a siesta.
I did. I mean, he's like totally off to the side, and now I realize I didn't even take a picture of him. I didn't even know he was there. But I also want to mention, Jeff had reminded me about the Zodiac figures that used to be here as well.
In the garden,
those were always
yes.
fun.
Well, it doesn't get much more fun than the Bromeliad Dragon, one of our favorites.
He is absolutely one of my favorite topiaries, and he had taken at least 2 years off, and they brought him back, which was fantastic.
You know, in previous years, he used to spray like a mist out of his mouth right there, but last year there was no spray to happen, so I wouldn't expect that this year, but that's okay. I would happily trade it to have him back.
I know, it was, you know, when we saw him last year, we didn't know he was coming back, so it was really a lot of fun to see him again. And speaking of fun,
one of our favorites, another one of our favorites,
we have
Snow
a lot
White.
of favorites.
Snow White, she was one of the first ones to have this very highly detailed, realistic look to her.
Well, she was the first princess to receive a face. And I remember we didn't even know what was going to happen. And all of a sudden it's like, look, Snow White has a face, because she looked completely different before 2014. And in 2014, she got this look. And then Anna and Elsa came in and had it. And then Belle this year. So we won't see Cinderella and Snow White this year. So maybe eventually we'll see them with the new look as well.
Well, I will link to your article in the show notes, and I'll try to put it right here as well in the card section of the show.
Okay.
And I highly recommend looking at it, because some of those old pictures are fascinating to look at.
And also, supposedly where you saw that little patch here, they're going to have some kind of a photo opportunity, but I don't know exactly how that's going to work.
Between Snow White and the dwarf, so you will be with Snow White and the 7 dwarfs. It'll be kind of odd.
That's what we're told.
I don't know how you'll be able to really see them all, but I guess we shall see on opening day.
And the 7 dwarfs also have gotten more advanced over the years, not to the point of Snow White, but still look really nice. And we're in Italy now, and they have flowers everywhere. The Lady and the Tramp topiaries have not come in yet, probably because there was a big keg sitting there for the international
multiple kegs for the
International Festival of the Arts. So they have moved the keg. Now we see Woody. He does look different than previous years a little bit. His features are a little sharper than I'm used to seeing them. So I don't know why the change a little bit this year.
Well, I think they're just getting better and better. That's all. I mean, more advanced every year.
Do you think it looks better, or
I do. I do. I think there's
a
little something different. Just like the troll seemed better than ever that we just saw a little while ago.
And we see Tinkerbell. We will
faceless,
no face yet. Captain Hook and TikTok Croc, it looks like will not be here. I believe Peter Pan is supposed to be here with Tink, and I think those are the only ones, and then some Pixie Hollow little garden houses.
And here's another look at the main flower quilt.
And this one's along the Imagination Walkway. There'll also be a playground there. But now we see Sorcerer Mickey and all the Fantasia characters, or a lot of the Fantasia characters. This is, I believe, about the 3rd year that they put this here. they used to never have anything really on this side of the park.
Right. They've sort of encroached into Future World, and we encourage it. We love that. I mean, Sorcerer Mickey and the Fantasia characters have been everywhere. At one point, they were show center. They were also behind Spaceship Earth. They've really moved around, but I think they found a somewhat permanent home here in this area.
At least for now. And actually, like you used to have, Future World East has always had stuff going on, but here on Future World West, not so much. So it's nice that they've been able to add to it. And here you have the hippos. You also see sometimes Sorcerer Mickey over at Disney's Hollywood Studios. So that's not who's over there right now. I think it's just like Mickey and Minnie.
It's Mickey and Minnie. And the ostriches. I love the ostriches. Reminds me of Spectro Magic somehow.
I really, I think this is such a great location for them. And they're able to sort of, with the different levels, they're able to really make this topiary set work very well.
Now, the ostriches are from the Dance of the Hour segment of Fantasia, right?
Right, and also the hippos are, and they used to have alligators here.
Oh, yeah,
for some reason,
I remember the alligators.
I thought there were still alligators, even though I probably didn't take any pictures of alligators. I'm so used to them being part of this display previously that I think I've probably seen alligators.
That's right. Who knows? One thing that you will be seeing very soon are the mushrooms, and I love the mushrooms. I remember one year they actually had them outside the entrance to Epcot, which was really, really unique.
I thought that you never see topiaries outside of Epcot, so I thought that was very interesting as well. And they're from the dancing mushroom segment of Fantasia. I haven't seen Fantasia in many, many years, so I really have to kind of revisit that.
We are inspired now after watching it. We need to check it out.
I keep seeing the characters, and there is Belle, the real Belle.
Well, the reason we're seeing the real Belle is because we had been looking for the brand new Belle Topiary, which we heard was supposed to be tremendous with a great, one of the new faces and everything. And the first day that we went, it was not there. And so we figured we'd at least see the real Belle, because what better than the real Belle?
Well, I had gone a couple days earlier too, so this was like my third time trying to find the Belle Topiary, and it hadn't been there. So we went. This is the last day of the Epcot International Festival of the Arts. She has her painting by Maurice here, and this painting is no longer there. It was the last day of the festival.
So it really worked out. I'm so glad. You know, it's always nice to talk to Belle, and we did mention about her topiary, which she knew all about, and she told us about. So, again, couldn't have worked out better. She talks a lot more than the topiary, by the way, and we're about to see that, and it did not disappoint at all. And here it is. Here is the Belle Topiary with the Beast.
So you can see there's nobody here. We get there early. If you go to Halles Boulangerie, I'm trying to make sure I say it right, you can get food here at 9 a.m. and it's excellent, an excellent breakfast.
Highly recommended. It's just the best place because nobody's there. It has a great atmosphere and the food is wonderful.
And you could sit here and look at the topiaries if you want to.
With a baguette. Just munch on a baguette and a coffee.
And we don't know if Mrs. Potts and Chip will be there yet. Well, I'm going to be there tomorrow.
I would say almost guaranteed.
I don't guarantee anything, but we'll see. I'm going to be back there tomorrow and I'll be back there Sunday as well.
Belle did not disappoint, like I said before, though. Look at how great she looks looking at the Beast there. Just beautiful.
The funny thing is, like, I heard somebody say it looked like Fiona and Shrek, and then somebody on our YouTube channel said they thought it was Fiona, but I think
that's because she's green. It's the green.
That might, you know what? I didn't even think of that.
Of course, it's because of
I was
green.
like, how could you? I never thought that.
Yes.
But she is molded in the same form. I believe her face, her hair is not a living plant, but the rest of her is. Maybe not part of her arms.
And you had a great thought, and I believe it to be true. I think her dress is going to blossom to be yellow, and I can already see the purple coming out in the Beast's suit there.
I don't think it will be totally yellow, but it's supposed to be a golden ball gown, and it's the type of material it is. I think it's going to be a little more yellow than what we're seeing right now.
There is Cogsworth there and the Lumiere. So nice to see them back.
Yep, and they are usually closer to where Belle and Beast are, but they are over here by the maze. We've seen Belle and the Beast over here as well in previous years.
Right, and I think where they were last year, which is right in front of the France movie, that is my guess where Chip and Mrs. Potts will show up. Mm-hmm. Again, I don't know, we shall see, but it sort of makes sense to me.
And I'm going to say it's going to get much more crowded over there. Like if you wait till like noon, 1, 2, it's much more crowded. And here, The Figment Topiary that was part of International Festival of the Arts, they changed up the flowers underneath him to look more like, kind of like an imagination. Plus they have the flowers behind him. So he looks a little different. And also I think he's going to have a little bit more color to him than what he has as well.
You can tell we're just a little excited for the festival. I can't wait. Next week at this time we will be there. Opening day, Epcot Flower and Garden. I can't wait.
There, and I'll be there a bunch of times before that.
So as I mentioned earlier, we also checked out the reimagined Planet Hollywood, the Planet Hollywood Observatory. And here are some of the static displays, artifacts. Spider-Man was just there. There is the USS Enterprise. I think we saw Chewbacca. Lots of cool stuff to be seen. There is the Christopher Reeve Superman suit.
And these are actually real items. I don't know if they have anything that's like a replica. Almost everything has a sign to it. So I think that's very interesting. And it's 4 floors, just the same as before. And
there is the Riddler from Batman Forever, the outfit there. Anyway, enough of looking at the artifacts. We're going
That was quick.
Well, there are a lot to see.
There are a lot to see. Here.
And so we're going to pretty much get right into the food, but I'm going to pan around and sort of show you what the inside looks. It's a less cluttered look, and you have this giant wraparound, almost like OmniMax movie screen.
Well, they call it a video wall, which, I mean, if you have like a big group in there, it sounds like they can do things for that group. But this was just, regular diners on this day, except there was one tour group on the top floor.
On the top floor, right.
And I'm just going to say it was very busy. So we started with the Hummus Trio. I know you didn't like it as much as I did.
I thought the hummus was a bit bland for my taste, but you seemed to like it.
I really liked it. And
this I did like. I like this very much. It used to be called the Captain Crunch chicken, but now they're calling it the world famous Chicken Crunch.
And that was good. I mean, I don't like it as much as some kind of chicken tenders, but it was actually a very unique taste to it, and so I would definitely get that again.
Very good. Now this was the High Roller Sampler, and already points for presentation, that's for sure.
Now it doesn't like turn or anything.
That would be bad if it turned.
So you get the chicken crunch in here. The tostadas, I didn't really care for those as much.
I like the shrimp. They had a nice little spice to it. The 5 cheese dip was okay, and also the buffalo wings were nothing special. They were just okay, not up to the Hooters standard of wings.
But overall, it's a nice presentation and a way to get to sample a bunch of different items.
This was great. This is what I would get next time we go. The barbecue ribs, really good.
The presentation on this was probably the best presentation out of all the food that we saw.
Yeah, the ribs were served on a little picnic table. Here is the mojito. I only had a little sip of it, but it seemed pretty strong, and it had some blueberries, which I liked.
I like the stir. I didn't think I had one in my drinks. And these are the Planet Bowl drinks, including Halley's Comet. It includes a souvenir bowl glass for $27. And then if you want a refill, it's $20, which isn't actually too bad. They're good-sized drinks.
Very good-sized drinks. This is the Solar Eclipse, which I had, and it lasted me almost the entire night. So I would say, it is
well worth it.
It's a good amount. The Bacon Mac and Cheeseburger, the Guy Fieri menu.
So I ended up having none of this on it. I had a plain burger.
Which was wise.
And it was huge. Like I did take it home and I ate it for 2 more meals.
This video does not do justice on just how huge this is. If you get it, definitely get a take-home box. Do not attempt to eat all of this. It was actually good when I took all the stuff off of the top, but it was just impossible to eat all that there at the restaurant.
And then this is a 6-cheese chicken macaroni and cheese. We did not try that. Also, the fries for me are not as good as some other restaurants, but they weren't too bad. The citrus kale salad.
There are healthy options. Our table mates really enjoyed that salad. And also, I believe this is the salmon, and I heard good things about the salmon. We didn't have neither of them ourselves, though.
And it looks almost like it's in a fish there, doesn't
it? It is a fish bowl.
And then this is called the sesame ginger salmon. And everybody at the table seemed to enjoy their meals.
The presentation is just fun. I mean, you're going there for fun, and that's what you're really getting.
And there is the big burger again. And okay, now this is where Planet Hollywood shines, is the desserts. And I really like that cake. I didn't even hardly have any shake. I just, had like half a piece of cake. But everybody really enjoyed these shakes, and they are crazy, but you can really split them among 2 or 3 people, these items.
I enjoyed the shakes. I will admit that. The chocolate Comet milkshake is the one I ordered. It was very good, but somebody else ordered a cotton candy milkshake.
Did they?
That was the best. If I could have had just that, there it is right there. That was phenomenal. I loved it, loved it, loved it.
I didn't even know we were supposed to order. They just kept bringing stuff out. But this Brownie Sundae Martini was very good as well. It's a ton of whipped cream. I think there was some ice cream. And then
whole
the brownies.
can.
The brownies were really good. Was it a whole can?
No, I was just doing my little reference to the beaches and cream.
It's all of these desserts really are fantastic. Very sweet though. So if you're not looking for sweet items, but I think a lot of guests are when they're coming here.
So overall, what did you think about Planet Hollywood? I certainly would say the burger, but my burger and your burger were certainly better than Geyser Point.
Yes, my burger was very good. I didn't like, the tour group was very loud. That's the one thing.
It can get very loud in there.
But, you know, the music itself, I thought was going to be like STK loud, and it wasn't.
Thankfully, not STK
I was able
loud.
to talk to my neighbor without a problem. It's loud, but it's not, it wasn't too crazy. So I was able to talk. It wasn't like my voice was hoarse by the end of the night. But I would go back. I know you'd have the ribs. I would probably get like a plain burger again.
If I'm going to have a burger, I would get the plain burger because it's almost like the Guy's Burger on Carnival Cruise Line, which we love. It's the same burger. It's just less of the bonus stuff. Sometimes too much is too much as far as the bonus stuff.
I don't even know if it's exactly the same, but it's a similar type of burger. It's a good burger, but I like it without all the stuff on it. And then we went to the Stargazers
Because
Lounge.
we just weren't done.
Yes.
After dinner, we had to check out
it.
the Stargazers Lounge, and you ordered a interesting little concoction.
Well, it was a sangria, but they didn't have a sangria, so they were able to just kind of whip something up, and it was excellent.
What a beautiful, this was a beautiful atmosphere, a great place to go. They had live performers there, quite relaxing.
Look how big that my sangria was, and it was very good. It was better than most sangrias.
You have to get a take-home box for that.
Yeah, pretty much. And so this is on the first floor. We were thinking it was on like the 3rd floor, but it's not. It's on the 1st. But there is like dining a couple floors up from here. Like you can dine outside.
Right. I would absolutely go back to Stargazers. I think they give you a good value as far as the drinks.
And then there's merchandise. Some of it is regular Planet Hollywood merchandise, but they have a whole slew of Planet Hollywood Observatory merchandise.
This is
well.
my favorite stuff here. All this Dreamfinder looking stuff.
So it's sort of like the almost like I was going to say like toothsome. I'm trying to think what the name of it.
Does have that toothsome look to it, doesn't it?
But
steampunk. That's what you're looking for.
That's the word I'm trying to find. I wasn't trying to think of another restaurant, but that's what I was thinking of.
Anyway, that is another show.
That's another show. Thanks to our sponsors, MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. Check them out online. You can even subscribe. They have a newsletter as well. And you can even request a quote online if you want. Also, the allears.net weekly newsletter. Always interesting information. Check them out. Check out the show notes, how to subscribe. Highly recommended. This week, big doings. Of course, the opening of the 2017 Epcot Flower and Garden Festival. And the Mardi Gras Cargo Cart Parade over at Disney's Coeur d'Alene's Resort. Fat Tuesday. Yes. Fat Tuesday goodness. Lots to see. This is also my big Daytona weekend for the Daytona 500. So if I see anything Disney newsworthy out there, sometimes you do, I will have that for next week's show. And I believe you are going to see Rick Springfield in concert this weekend. So that's exciting for me. A lot of excitement. So anyway, thanks again for listening. Have a great week, and we'll see you all next week. Have a great week.